How's it going, everybody? My name is Chill, and before we start the video, I just wanted to say that it looks like 91.3% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you like my videos and want to support me, please hit that subscribe button because, you know, it helps me, it goes a long way, and it also helps you. You know, you get instant upload updates if you hit that little bell icon, and you get to participate in polls and questions from my community tab. So please, if you want to support me, if you want to help the channel, click that subscribe button. Anyway, on with the video. I'm a big fan of superhero media, all types, comics, games, movies, TV shows, all little subgenres, you know, the classics, the reconstructions, the deconstructions, you know. I'm a big fan of Watchmen and stuff like that. Not so much the edgy films, but, you know, I can still enjoy them if I watch them. And when I heard that they were doing an adaptation of the comic Invincible, oh boy, was I excited. And does it hold up? Hell yeah. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what is Invincible? You know, either you've heard of it and you just never had the chance to check it out, or you haven't heard of it and you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Well, Invincible was originally an Image comics series by Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead. The comic ran from 2003 to 2017, and I heard of it from one of the YouTubers I watch, Comic Drake. He makes really good comic book videos. If you're a fan, if you're interested in Marvel, DC, or anything comics, I would definitely say check it out. Makes great content. But anyway, I heard it from Comic Drake, and I kind of knew the synopsis, the general twist, but I didn't have anywhere to read the story. So I kind of just put it off. I never really consumed it. I didn't really think about it after then. Sometimes I would see a video of it and I'd be like, oh, Invincible, that looks cool. I should find a way to read that sometime, but I never did. And then, it was a few months ago, the show got announced and I was so excited. Because not only was it an adaptation of a comic book I really wanted to read that I couldn't, but it was also an animated adaptation. And I was pumped because I was like, oh my god, it's gonna look so good. It's gonna be so well made in animation. I was super excited. And after watching the show, I can say, it definitely held up to my expectations. So I'm gonna go through the story and characters and everything without giving spoilers. There will be a spoiler section later, but I will tell you guys beforehand. The story is about this kid named Mark Grayson. Now, Mark is just a normal high school student. He lives with his mom and he lives with his dad, but he actually lives in a world where superheroes exist, all kinds. A lot of superheroes are sort of twists on already existing ones, sort of, you know, with a little satirical twist on them and stuff like that, you know, a little like parody with some characters. Like there's a character named War Woman, obviously a twist on Thor and Wonder Woman. But anyway, yeah, Mark lives in a world of superheroes, and oh yeah, his dad is Omni-Man, the Superman equivalent in his universe. Omni-Man's the greatest superhero, apparently too great that he isn't even considered on the Justice League equivalent of his world. He's an outside force, he's super strong, he's basically the golden superhero character of that universe. And you know, Mark's life is pretty boring, it's pretty average and stuff like that, until he suddenly gets superpowers. It turns out he did get the abilities from his father's side, his alien side, and now he wants to, you know, be a superhero. So a lot of the story is essentially about Mark's life as a superhero, interacting with the world, different characters you meet who are superheroes behind the scenes, who are superheroes up front, different people in the universe that he interacts with and meets, and different, you know, villain encounters and, you know, classic superhero stories. That's all the story I want to say without giving any major spoilers. But you know, if that simple concept interests you, go watch it now. Watch it right now, please. It's really enjoyable. I think one of the things that makes the show really fun to watch are the characters like Mark. As a protagonist, he's really well made, he's really likable, and he's really enjoyable, but he's still like human, you know? He's not like Monkey D. Luffy, where he's endlessly determined and, you know, is sort of like forever going to believe in his ideals. He's very much a human teenager, so he's wavery and he makes very stupid decisions and says very stupid things. But the thing I like about Mark is that he learns quickly, you know? He'll say something stupid and then he'll realize, oh, that was dumb, I shouldn't have said that. That's what I like about Mark. He learns very quickly. At the end of every episode, the flaw that you've seen in the beginning episode is already fixed, and there's been character development for Mark. There are other superhero characters that he meets, like Adam Eve. She's one of Mark's superhero friends. Her ability is really cool, be able to manipulate and change the atoms of anything, so that's really sick. And as a character, she is really great. As a female protagonist, a lot of times in superhero media, I see they don't really write women well. They kind of write them as just girl or sex symbol, and they really took Adam Eve and made her a character on her own, because they do spend a lot of time focusing on her separate from Mark and the rest of the team so that she can grow on her own. So I assume when she eventually becomes a mainstay and is always seen with Mark and the rest of the main characters, you already know her as a character like you did with Mark. There are a few other characters I want to talk about, but some of them are either, small one-off episode things or stuff that I don't really feel the need to discuss in a general discussion. There are other characters I like, all of them are very memorable, but they don't really have that much nuance or depth. They're all enjoyable. Every character is likable in a way. You either love to love them or you love to hate them with some of the villains. One of the characters that is pretty polarizing is a character named Amber. Now, Amber is a girl that Mark gets in a relationship with during the series. She's not a superhero. She's just a normal person, so it's sort of a Spider-Man dynamic. He has to balance his superhero life with his normal school life, and it causes some chaos. It causes some conflict. And some of the stuff that happens in later episodes kind of got some people on Twitter mad at this character. Of course, not mad at the writers, just not really liking the character. And personally, I feel like what Amber did, and you know what she did. I feel like what Amber did is pretty logical. I mean, it's very easy to say you side with Mark, but if you look through Amber's perspective, it's very hard to comprehend the larger world of superheroes, especially from an outside perspective. I think that's the thing, because superheroes in this world are essentially celebrities, so it's very hard to get the depth and the intensity of it, when you see them being glorified on TV and all. But, I feel like they're going to explore Amber a lot more in the future seasons. Invincible has great characters, and it has really good action. Now, a lot of people criticize the animation for not being top-notch 10 out of 10 quality. It's good. It's not terrible. It's good. The animators put a lot of effort into it. There are not anime Sakuga moments every episode, but when they want to make it look amazing, they do. And I feel like that's what matters. And even when, it's not like super detailed, every frame has something special in it, the action's still really well executed, interesting set pieces, interesting choreography. It's really fun. Every episode has an action scene that, gets you pumped. It gets you riled up, And the way the writers tackled Mark, not making him like a overpowered, an overpowered character who just kind of defeats anything in his way. He struggles a lot because he's a new hero, so he has to learn the ropes, and he does a lot of learning. On my Twitter, a lot of times I say he gets beat up a lot. A running joke is that he's called Invincible, but he's not, really invincible, which I think is pretty funny. But it's never annoying. It's definitely for a purpose in the story. It's so that you can see him at his bottom now, so that eventually when we get to the ending, however that will be, we'll see him at his peak strength, and it's going to feel real good, And even when the action isn't involving Mark, it's still really fun with the other heroes and stuff like that, and the way they use their powers. Every power is unique, and it's very interesting. I wish they went to more depth with each of the powers, but, you can only do so much in like 9 episodes, 8-9 episodes, Now, this is spoiler territory. I'm going to be talking about the final episode of Invincible and kind of everything that precedes it. So if you want to watch Invincible without any spoilers on what happens, please go watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. If you can find it to watch it any other way, please do. It's an incredible show. Time for spoilers. That final episode was like a 10 out of 10. And I think it definitely solidified Omni-Man as one of my favorite Western animation antagonists. And I'm glad they didn't wait to do the twist of him being, a conqueror, evil type of dude, because then we wouldn't have as much time for the tension to grow, and then he wouldn't really be as fun of an antagonist, so it'd feel kind of jarring at this point. Throughout the entire series, it's always been oh my god, Omni-Man is super powerful. Oh my god, how is Mark going to react? How is that going to happen? Oh my god. And it happened in a shocking way. When I'm telling you that the fight left me in shock, my mind was blown. Just the amount of gore and the amount of violence that happened with it, ugh. And it wasn't tasteless. It was all for a purpose. Those are stuff that Mark saw, and that's gonna affect him for the rest of the series. And it's wow, it's crazy. Especially during that flashback scene. I posted on Twitter this shot. It is beautiful, and I think in a single shot this illustrates why Invincible does characters really well. You know, Omni-Man cares in some way, shape, or form. During the entire fight, he's like, I don't care. And he cares for something. He cares for Mark. Whether or not he cares for his wife, whether or not he cares for the people on the planet, he doesn't, obviously. But he cares for Mark in some way, and that's why, even though he beat him to an absolute pulp, and Mark was essentially dead, he couldn't do the final blow. He couldn't kill his son. He could say all the terrible things, but he couldn't do the action, and I think that's what's so interesting about Omni-Man as an antagonist. And in the future seasons, if we see Omni-Man soon, I really want them to develop that, you know, inner philosophy of Omni-Man. How does he think? How does he interact with people? How does he, you know, act? That's what's so interesting. And honestly, it set up some really good things for the future of the series. Not only do we have the threats of Omni-Man and his race, I forgot their names already, and also the aliens we saw in the beginning of the series, but we also have a world kind of left in ruin. You know, there are supervillains that we saw throughout the entire series getting back up on their feet, and now we don't have the Superman of our world to defend it. So during the next seasons, I'm really excited to see where it goes, because Invincible, it's in my top 10. It's in my top 10 Western cartoons. It hasn't really breached the top 10 animated series of all time list, but, you know, I feel like it will in the next few seasons. Honestly, that final episode was actually like one of my favorite episodes in television. You know, it's not up there with stuff like The View from Halfway Down, but it's definitely up there with like great episodes of television, like some of the best episodes of Avatar and Gravity Falls and stuff like that. Anyway, in conclusion, Invincible is a really great show, and I feel like it's going to heavily advance animation as a whole, because it's an adult animated series that doesn't rely on crude humor and sex jokes to keep its audience. It relies on great storytelling, and yeah, it has some gore and it has some horrific action, but it always uses that to its advantage, not to keep audience attention. And it got 2 more seasons, so I'm hoping to see, you know, more action cartoons from the West. We need some more action shows that are, you know, primarily action, you know. Infinity Train, I'll make a video about that soon, has stopped, it's been canceled, and we need more shows to get that sort of young adult audience, you know, watching cartoons again, you know, because it can tell great stories like Invincible, and I don't know, it's just really good. Did you guys like Invincible? Did you not? Put your thoughts in the comments below. Put your thoughts on the discussion and anything in the comments below. Put questions, because, you know, I might do a Q&A. I got 1,000 subscribers a while back. I might still do that Q&A I was thinking about. Put comments, questions, thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to see my thoughts on Invincible, because I did sometimes tweet while watching episodes, go to my Twitter at Chillixion, link in the description. If you want to aid the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, want to help me out, click that little bell icon so you can get an instant notification whenever I upload a new video. And I think that's all. Oh, and I hope all of you have a damn good one. Peace.